Okay folks, so today I've got sort of a different video for you. I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe for some keto bread. This is not my recipe. I got this from a Facebook group that I am a member of. The lady's name, she's in Pakistan, and her information is Hiralicious, and I'm going to put all of her webpage and everything down in the description there. So be sure to check that out. I believe she has a restaurant in Pakistan, and she does like meal plans for the keto diet. So yeah, be sure to check her out because this is her recipe. So this is sort of a make it and review it. I've been looking for a bread recipe, and she posted some pictures of some rolls she made. So I asked her for permission to do this, and she said she would do it. So here we go. So what I got here, I pre-measured all the dry ingredients, that way we could save time. So in my little stand mixer here, in my KitchenAid, you could also do this by hand if you want, but I just have the KitchenAid, so I'm going to use it. In here, I've got 100 grams of almond flour, 50 grams of psyllium husks, 50 grams flaxseed powder or flaxseed meal, and then I'm going to be adding 2 eggs, half a cup of warm water with 2 teaspoons of yeast, and I put it in here in just warm water. And she didn't say whether you needed to let the yeast proof, to get activated, but I'm just assuming you do, so that's what I got here. I got the yeast and it's pretty activated. There's all the bubbles on top of the water. And also there's a teaspoon of baking powder, and I put a teaspoon of salt in here. She said, for, you just salt it to your taste, but I like a little bit of salt, so I put it in there. And the oven, you preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, which is Fahrenheit is 356 degrees Fahrenheit. And on the measurements, I didn't do the conversion from metric to imperial because I find that with bacon, metrics is more precise, and so I just suggest getting a scale. I mean, I got one that I use. It cost me $9 on Amazon, so they're cheap, and honestly, you need a kitchen scale to be weighing stuff. Especially on any kind of diet plan, a scale comes in really handy. So I did convert that, but there's always a Google search. You can just type it in the Google search bar, and it will convert it for you, but it's not going to be precise. And so I just decided to use the metrics instead, because this is her recipe, so she's formulated it for these measurements, these grams, and she uses metrics. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick mix. Going to raise up this bowl. I've got all the dry ingredients in here, and I've got all my little dough hook on this KitchenAid. But like I said, you can do this by hand too, but I just got a KitchenAid, so I'm going to use it. After I plug this up, it works better because these things require electricity to use. So just give me a second here to plug it up. Now it's plugged up, it's got the juice. So now I'm going to just give it a 10-15 seconds to get everything mixed up and good there. You know what? I think I'm going to change it to the paddle because this thing is not quite. Oh, maybe I lift it up all the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got all that mixed up in there. Let me grab a couple of eggs. Okay, back with the eggs, and I'm surprised it didn't. I was sort of wondering she didn't call for any oil in this, and usually you put oil in a bread recipe, but she didn't call for it, so I'm not going to put it in there. So I'm just going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is add in the yeast into the mixture and get it all mixed up, and then I will add in the eggs. So here we go. I'm just going to let that mix until it all starts to form a ball in there. And it is mixing up pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to add an egg, just one egg at a time. That way it all gets blended up there good. Might get a bit fast right here. Shove it all down in there. There we go. You really should shut this off before you put a spatula in there, but it's going slow, so if I'm quick about it. Okay, that egg's mixed up. I'm going to throw in another egg. And that is all the ingredients that she calls for, so I'm just gonna let this go ahead and work and see what we got. Okay, now I'll shut it off and scrape everything down here, that way it gets all mixed up. It smells good. That yeast always smells good. Okay, don't want to get any of that yeast out of there. Put that back in there. Lift her up and give her some more mixing. Okay, now I'm going to take it off and do a little mixing by hand. There we go. Hands are always the best utensils in the kitchen, I find. I call them manual food processors. And so after we mix this up, you make the rolls out of it, your bread out of it, and then you set it and cover it for 30 minutes to proof it. That means get the yeast activated in there and get it all working. So yeah, it is making a pretty good dough here, because the psyllium and all that stuff is going to start absorbing some of this moisture. So it will. Okay. Okay, and what I got is I got a baking sheet with some parchment paper put on there. And so there's the dough, folks. It is a good dough. Like I said, the more it sets and proofs, the more it's going to become a dough, because the psyllium husk is going to. There we go, and the flax seed. Okay, yeah, that makes a pretty good dough. It looks like sort of like a whole wheat bread dough, so it smells really good. And of course, since this is rolled, it don't make no difference if there's air in it or not, because my plan is to make sandwiches with them. I've been looking for a recipe for making Vietnamese sandwiches to banh mi, so hopefully this will work out for me. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside here and get my baking sheet. You see it's got the parchment paper on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and break this off in balls here, about that size. Give it a good round. I don't know how big I should make them, but it didn't say, so I'm guessing even. So if I was to get on my scale and weigh it, I could probably get a better idea, but I'll just eyeball it. So I'm gonna try it just like that. Here's one. Here's another one. I'll just make oblong balls, little rounds out of them. Two. Yeah, it seems kind of dry, but we shall see. And I'll make two more with it. Round that up. Just sort of make them the shape of your palm. If we put them like that, make it the shape of your palm. The last one. So this, I got 4 out of it. Like I said, though, if I was to take out my scale and measure up even weights, it'd probably be better, but I'm just doing this on the fly here. So. Okay, so we shall see. So I got 4 out of it. Most of them are the same size. I think I'm gonna make them all the same shape. That way they cook the same speeds. Okay. Okay, I'll put them on there, and then like she said, we need to cover them with the cloth and let them sit and cook for 30 minutes. Got the cloth here. I'll just set that over there, and I'm going to set this aside and let's let it proof for 30 minutes. I'm going to clean up the mess, and while this is proofing, I'm going to get the rest of my dinner started. So I will be back with you guys when this is after 30 minutes and see what it looks like. Okay, folks, so here we go. This is a Hiralicious bread, her bread recipe. As you can see, it's a very, very dense bread. I mean, this would be great for like dipping in a curry or in a soup. The taste of it tastes like something that you would buy at like a Trader Joe's bread or like the Ezekiel bread. It's very, you can tell it's got lots of fiber and lots of nutrition there. It's very tasty. When it was hot, it has sort of the feel of you get from the psyllium husk in there. But now that it's cold, it just tastes like a really good, rich, dark wheat bread. And of course, this good butter. I know it's going to make it better. Butter makes everything better. It's fantastic. So I'm thinking maybe that if I would have added a little bit more water to it, they would have been less dense because of course all ingredients are different. The ingredients that we get here in the US are different than what they probably get in Pakistan because ours are really super processed. But all in all, with just the recipe, I used it and the way the psyllium husk was, the flax seed. This is a really good recipe. I would highly recommend you try it. Of course, it's just like when you buy flour, regular flour, when you're doing flour, every flour absorbs water differently. The same with your psyllium husk and your the flax seed. So I would suggest just playing around with your water content. But all in all, folks, these are really good bread. It goes really good with butter on it, really good. Probably some sugar-free jelly or something that you have on it would be really good. I don't think it'd be good for a sandwich bread because it is really dense. But if you got a really thick, like a keto chili or stews or especially a curry. I mean, you can put a nice thick curry on this, an Indian style. I wouldn't do a Thai curry because that's sweet, but like an Indian style curry from India or in that type of curry, really, really good. So yeah. Thank you for joining me, and I got a couple more recipes coming up too. I'm going to do a keto creme brulee. I've got I figured out how to do pecan pie. Pecan pie is one of my favorite, and just a few more. So yeah, if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like and share my channel. And again, check out the Hiralicious. I hope I said that. I hope I didn't butcher the name too bad. She has a Facebook page. And I know some of my subscribers are from Pakistan, so please check her out. I'll put all of her information in the description below. So that is it, folks. It's a really good bread. I like it. I will make it again. I might play with the water just a little bit to make it less dense according to my ingredients. And so until next time, folks, God bless and good eats.